What if the key to saving the universe was hidden inside a chaotic, bunny-wielding girl, who might not even be human? And what if the only people standing between her and total annihilation were a traitor, a killer, a broken soldier, and a woman with forgotten powers? From ancient alien empires to a deranged corporate war, this is the sci-fi chaos you never saw coming. Eons ago, the Iridians reigned supreme across the cosmos, wielding unparalleled technology that set them apart as the most advanced alien civilization. Mysteriously, they vanished, leaving behind remnants of their innovations, scraps that became the foundation for humanity's progress. Yet, their greatest mysteries were sealed within a hidden vault on the distant planet of Pandora. What followed was chaos. Corporations, mercenaries, and scavengers clashed in an endless struggle to uncover the vault's secrets. Despite their efforts, no one succeeded. Then a prophecy emerged. A descendant of the Iridians would unlock the vault and restore harmony to Pandora. In a high-security space prison, an alarm blares through the corridors as a blast shakes the facility. Screams echo outside the cell of an inmate known as Tiny Tina. Before she can make sense of the chaos, her cell door swings open, revealing a guard, only for him to remove his helmet and unveil himself as Roland, an ex-soldier. He's been sent by Atlas, Tina's father, to rescue her. But as they make their escape, guards flood in. Roland fights them off with calculated precision, using both firepower and brute strength to clear a path. As Tina attempts to slip away on her own, Roland yanks her back, preventing her from fleeing. With unyielding determination, he subdues another guard by slamming him against a wall before dragging Tina along. Suddenly, the reinforced glass of a containment unit shatters, and from the wreckage, Krieg, a deranged warrior consumed by his obsession with the vault, emerges. With monstrous strength, he charges into the fray, effortlessly crushing guards. Commander Knox of the Crimson Lance storms in, weapon drawn, but before she can act, Krieg hurls a soldier at her, sending her crashing to the floor. With the battlefield momentarily cleared, Krieg lifts Tina, revealing their alliance. Roland, nodding to his old commander, reluctantly joins forces with Krieg to escape. Months later, on the metropolis planet of Promethea, bounty hunter Lilith claims her latest target. After collecting her prize, she heads to a bar for a moment of respite, only to find herself surrounded by a group of thugs. Ignoring her warning punch, they brandish weapons, explaining that a wealthy employer wants to hire her. Lilith, unimpressed, swiftly eliminates most of them before leaving the last man standing. As the patrons flee in terror, a lone figure claps from the shadows. It's Atlas, the infamous mogul. Lilith doesn't hesitate. She fires at him, but the shot merely disrupts a holographic disguise. The final thug dons the hologram mask, and Atlas makes his offer again: find his daughter, Tina, on Pandora. Initially, Lilith refuses, until he names a price too tempting to ignore. To ensure her cooperation, Atlas executes her bounty target on the spot, forcing her to start the mission immediately. He hands her a beacon, instructing her to activate it upon finding Tina. Upon reaching Pandora, Lilith barely sets foot on the desolate terrain before being attacked by one of its monstrous inhabitants. She eliminates the creature effortlessly, but the planet's ruthless nature rekindles old memories. She was born here, and she lost her mother to its dangers. Following a lead on Tina's whereabouts, she finds a crashed shuttle that's already been looted by vault hunters. Concerned for Tina's fate, she interrogates local children, who point her in the right direction. As she navigates the treacherous landscape, relentless psychos ambush her at every turn, but she dispatches them with efficiency. Seeking faster transport, she boards a bus, only for the skeptical driver to scoff at her claim of being a vault hunter. He unceremoniously dumps her in the wastelands, leaving her stranded. As night falls, she sets up camp, but a lurking presence in the darkness prompts her to fire a warning sound. From the shadows emerges Claptrap, an irritating yet oddly resourceful robot. Lilith, fed up with his chatter, keeps firing at him until he offers an enticing skill. He can track people. She hands him Tina's picture, and he quickly locates her, with the minor caveat that it will take 132 days to reach her. The next morning, Lilith spots a disturbing scene. Crimson Lance soldiers negotiating with a deranged psycho who has captured children in a cage. Once the soldiers leave, Lilith executes the psycho from a distance and frees the captives. Stealing the psycho's vehicle, she locks Claptrap in the cage and speeds toward Tina's last known location. Eventually, she arrives at a junkyard and uncovers a makeshift child's room filled with stuffed animals. Tina emerges, revealing that Roland had abandoned her days ago, though the truth soon becomes clear. Lilith, intent on completing her mission, attempts to activate the beacon, but as she bends down, she notices an alarming detail: combustive materials rigged beneath the bed. Tina, feigning innocence, asks her to hand over a bunny plush, which promptly detonates upon touch. Lilith barely escapes, only to see Tina perched atop a pile of trucks, dropping more combustive material toys. Seeking shelter, Lilith tosses the broken beacon to Claptrap for repairs while dodging the relentless barrage. As the tension escalates, Lilith aims her weapon at Tina, prompting the girl to call out for Krieg. The towering berserker bursts from an old van, charging straight at Lilith. Fires barely slow him down as they engage in a frantic chase, culminating in a brutal melee brawl. Lilith outmaneuvers him, luring him onto a raised platform before dodging at the last second, sending him hurtling off. Recovering from the chaos, she finds Tina aiming an oversized weapon at her. Lilith pleads, explaining that Atlas sent her, but Tina scoffs, claiming she has no father. Their standoff is interrupted by Commander Knox, arriving with an army on hoverbikes. Tina hurls a bomb-laden bunny at Knox, forcing her to abandon her craft as a blast destabilizes the truck pile. Lilith and Tina plummet, barely avoiding a crushing collapse. Just as Knox moves in for the capture, Roland arrives in a stolen truck, barely missing Knox as he barrels through. Contrary to Tina's earlier claim, he had only left for 10 minutes to fetch transportation. With no time to argue, Lilith, Tina, and Krieg leap aboard as they flee, Claptrap trailing behind. The Crimson Lance pursues them relentlessly. In the heat of the chase, Krieg hauls Claptrap into the truck while Roland takes the wheel, counterattacking with the vehicle's mounted weaponry. Lilith soon takes over driving while Roland fends off the attackers, dismantling their forces one by one. As the battle intensifies, Claptrap unwittingly crashes the truck into the support beams of a bridge, which collapses behind them, but their pursuers charge through the rubble undeterred. A projectile strikes the truck, forcing Lilith and Roland back inside. Surrounded, Roland executes a daring maneuver, sending enemy vehicles into a chain reaction crash before steering into Pisswash Gully, a region notorious for its dense smog and monstrous inhabitants. The Crimson Lance hesitates to follow, but an enormous beast soon takes interest in the group. As it lunges, Roland accelerates in reverse, narrowly escaping. The Lancers reappear, demanding Tina's surrender. With a bold move, Roland charges straight at the monster, blasting a hole through its skull, creating an escape route through the gory remains. Later, as they stop to fix a tire, tensions rise. Tina finally clarifies that Roland didn't adopt her, he saved her. However, Roland warns that Atlas seeks to use the vault's power for sinister purposes, and they refuse to be pawns in his scheme. Suspicious of Lilith's allegiance, Roland raises his weapon, but she counters that the Lancers are after her too, making them reluctant allies. Begrudgingly, they let her stay, revealing they already possess one of the vault's keys. To obtain the second, they must locate a group of scientists. Their journey takes them to a city, where they disguise themselves to evade the wanted posters plastered everywhere. At a bar owned by the enigmatic Mad Moxie, Roland draws the attention of an old acquaintance, Soldier Larry. While Roland distracts him, Lilith secures critical intel from Moxie, who once knew Lilith's mother. Larry, initially friendly, soon betrays his greed, seeking Roland's bounty. Before he can act, Moxie incapacitates him with a taser. At that moment, the Crimson Lance swarms in, forcing the group to flee through a back exit. They reach an elevator and attempt to input the scientist's passcode, only for it to fail. But when Tina speaks, the lock releases, revealing an entrance to their next destination. In a sprawling research facility high above the city, the team arrives and encounters Dr. Patricia, whose eyes immediately lock onto Lilith. The tension is instant. Lilith stiffens and quickly retreats to another room, avoiding confrontation. Patricia, undeterred, follows, trying to reach out. But Lilith's resentment is palpable. She reminds Patricia of the past, that she was abandoned as a child because Patricia chose to chase the mysteries of the vault instead of raising her. The truth stings. Patricia had taken Lilith in after her mother's passing, yet instead of offering security, she had left her behind. Patricia attempts to justify her decision, insisting that she was merely continuing Lilith's mother's work, but this only fuels Lilith's anger. She storms away, heading for the rooftop. There, Tina joins her, sharing her own painful past. She reveals that she was created in a lab, a product of Atlas genetic experiments. Using a fragment of Iridian DNA found in the vault key, they had cloned her, hoping she would unlock ancient alien technology to craft devastating weapons. Tears well up as she confesses that once her task is complete, she expects to be caged in the lab again. Meanwhile, down on the bustling city streets, Claptrap roams aimlessly. Larry spots him from a distance and immediately alerts Knox, who rushes to apprehend him. But the quirky little bot vanishes before he can be caught. Back at the lab, Patricia finally reveals a crucial piece of information. The second vault key is hidden deep within the treacherous caustic caverns. Before they can react, Claptrap bursts into the room, panicked. He's been seen. Worse, Knox is locking down the entire city. Thinking quickly, the group hides inside a massive waste container that's promptly hauled away. By morning, they arrive at the mines and discover a concealed underground hatch. Cautiously, they push Claptrap in first to ensure it's safe before following him down. Inside, they are met with a dangerous landscape. Rivers of caustic waste capable of dissolving anything except the cavern's natural crystals. They navigate the hazardous terrain carefully, sending Claptrap through a narrow passage to unlock the way forward. At one point, a fragile walkway collapses beneath Tina, nearly sending her into the toxic flow, but she is rescued just in time. As they press on, Tina is mesmerized by a rare flower growing amidst the ruins, only for Claptrap to clumsily stomp on it. Moving deeper, they come across a terrifying sight, the emblem of the Blood, a gang so ruthless that even other outlaws fear them. Moments later, they stumble upon the gang itself. Heavily outnumbered, they opt for stealth, sending Claptrap in as a distraction. As expected, the gang open fire on him, allowing the team to slip through unnoticed. Upstairs, as the gang erupts into celebration, Claptrap seizes his chance to escape. Further into the labyrinthine tunnels, they discover a vast chamber filled with countless crates. Finding the key seems impossible, but Lilith, guided by an inexplicable instinct, heads straight to one particular box. To everyone's amazement, she retrieves the second vault key almost immediately. Their triumph is short-lived, however. As they prepare to leave, Claptrap suddenly expels the bullets he had absorbed earlier, the loud clattering alerting the gang. A battle erupts. Roland and Lilith unleash a hailstorm of fire, while Krieg engages in relentless close combat. Tina, caught in the chaos, is nearly captured, but Krieg rescues her in time, allowing her to deliver a decisive strike. Despite their fierce resistance, the gang keeps swarming. Lilith, thinking quickly, topples several heavy crates to block their advance. The team flees up a stairwell while Lilith ignites a flamethrower, incinerating a wave of attackers. As Tina plants in combustive charge, the stairs collapse behind them, cutting off pursuit. Just when they think they're safe, masked psychos ambush them in the darkness. A quick exchange of fire clears the threat, but more assailants lurk ahead, forcing yet another battle. This time, Tina holds her own, proving her growing resilience. As the fight rages on, Patricia discovers a hidden corridor leading to an elevator, their potential escape route. But just as they reach it, they realize it's broken. As Patricia and Claptrap frantically work to repair it, more psychos flood in. Roland and Krieg hold the line, fighting them off in the corridor. Meanwhile, Lilith rushes to a secondary gate, trying to seal off another advancing horde. A struggle ensues, and she loses her weapon in the process. Just as a psycho prepares to pierce her, Tina intervenes, retrieving Lilith's fire weapon and saving her. The gate won't last long under the relentless assault. Desperate, Roland orders Krieg to stand back as he fires into a nearby pipe, releasing a deluge of caustic waste that engulfs the pursuing psychos. Finally, the elevator is operational, but another wiring issue delays them. Roland rushes to fix it, urging the team to leave without him. Tina, unwilling to abandon him, tosses a small rabbit plushie before the doors close. As the elevator ascends, Roland throws the toy at the enemy before being overwhelmed. The elevator rockets upwards, smashing through rock and debris. Just when they brace for a crash, a mysterious force suddenly teleports them to safety. Disoriented, Lilith vomits while Tina marvels at what appears to be an unknown power. That night, they set up camp. Patricia combines the keys, unveiling a glowing map that pinpoints the vault's location. Strangely, it bears the emblem of the Firehawk, the legendary Iridian protector. Patricia warns Lilith that unlocking the vault could endanger Tina. Meanwhile, deep in the mines, Roland miraculously survives by hiding beneath the fallen bodies of their enemies. Claptrap later returns, handing Lilith a repaired communication beacon. Without hesitation, she destroys it, only for an Atlas drone to appear. A holographic message from Atlas himself plays, warning that the Crimson Lances are en route. If Lilith refuses to surrender Tina, they will all die. Tina, overhearing the message, mistakenly believes Lilith is about to betray her. In panic, she hurls a combustive material at Lilith, knocking her unconscious. When Lilith regains consciousness, everyone is gone except Claptrap, who informs her that the team headed toward an abandoned village. As Lilith follows, memories flood back. This was her childhood home. She recalls the day it was attacked, the moment her mother left her with Patricia, and the sacrifice made to ensure her survival. Within her old house, she discovers a drawing from her youth, an image of a winged woman. Claptrap scans it, triggering an old recording from her mother. The message is clear. Lilith was sent away for her own protection. Her destiny was far greater than she had ever imagined. Determined, Lilith rushes to find Tina. Meanwhile, Tina, Krieg, and Patricia uncover the vault entrance. As Tina inserts the key, an illusion shatters, revealing an ambush. Atlas and his forces, including hired psychos, descend upon them. When Atlas orders Tina's execution to harvest her DNA, Nox finally realizes his cruelty. She betrays him, commanding her troops to stand down. But before she can do more, Atlas unaliving her with a laser. Lilith arrives just in time, teleporting beside the team. In a stunning revelation, she learns she is the true heir of the Firehawk. Atlas, sensing her power, tries to manipulate her into opening the vault, but Lilith already knows the truth. Her mother sacrificed everything to keep her from doing so. The moment Lilith touches the key, a radiant blue light engulfs her. Energy courses through her body, her clothes burning away as iridescent wings form. The Firehawk is reborn. A climactic battle ensues. Despite her newfound strength, Atlas' technology proves formidable. His force fields block her attacks, and his laser cannon repeatedly knocks her down. But Lilith rises again. Roland and Krieg dismantle the enemy forces, while Tina plants explosives. With one final push, Lilith absorbs the laser's energy and redirects it, unaliving Atlas' defenses. His ship crashes, but he survives, only to be dragged into the abyss of the vault by an ancient beast. In the aftermath, the city erupts in celebration. Fireworks light up the sky. At Tina's urging, Lilith embraces her power, soaring high above and creating a dazzling Firehawk symbol in the sky. Would you trust Tina to save the universe, or would you lock the vault forever? Was Lilith right to destroy the beacon, or did she just start another war? And what do you think really happened to Atlas in the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear every theory, every hot take, and who you think should have lived or died. And if stories like this get your blood pumping, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next wild adventure.